So let's have a look at this alternative way of measuring an angle. Okay. There is our conversion. 360 degrees is 2 pi radians. Now, the actual conversion is 180 degrees is pi radians. But I do it this way because I can think, circle. Circle is 360 degrees, and the other thing I think about a circle is circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So I can associate 2 pi with 360. I find that a lot easier to match up in my head. So there's my conversion. So the common angles that we see a lot, let's just go through them quickly. So 30 degrees, one of our exact ones, will turn out to be pi on 6. 45, pi on 4, and 60, pi on 3. It is so easy to get those two the wrong way around. Because you think, pi on 6, 60, pi on 3, 30, but obviously it's the other way around, because your pi is actually 180, so 180 divided by. And 90 then, pi on 2. That's our first quadrant. So over in our second quadrant, we'll see these ones crop up. 120, 2 pi on 3, 135, 3 pi on 4, 150, 5 pi on 6, and 180, as I say, is pi. Third quadrant ones we'll see a fair bit of. 210 degrees, which is 7 pi on 6, 225, 5 pi on 4, 240, 4 pi on 3, 270, 3 pi on 2, and of course that brings us to our last quadrant of the circle, where we get 300, 5 pi on 3, 315, 7 pi on 4, 330, 11 pi on 6, bringing us all the way to 360, being 2 pi. Of course, there are many others that they can be, but you're going to see these particular ones crop up a lot because of the exact values. And you might notice in the questions, we get a lot of answers that turn out to be like root 3 on 2 and 1 on root 3, and because it relates back to those exact values. So, all right, let's imagine it's not one of those. We've got 67 degrees and we want to convert to radians. To convert to radians, you multiply by pi on 180. Pi on 180. So it becomes 67 pi on 180. Now pi is 3.14159, etc., etc., etc. So whatever that value turns out to be when you multiply by 67 on 180, that's how many radians you would have. It turns out actually to be 1.16. A radian is quite large when you think about it. Because if pi radians is 180 degrees, well, pi is only 3.14. So 1 radian is, well, almost 60 degrees, isn't it? It's quite large. 36 degrees would be 36 pi on 180. That fraction simplifies down, we get pi on 5. And if I want to go the other way around, instead of multiplying by pi on 180, multiply by 180 on pi. And for pi on 8 degrees, we get 22.5. You don't have to have pi in the measurement. It just often is there a lot to make calculations easier. So if I had 111.1 radians, I would still multiply it by 180 on pi, but using my decimal approximation for pi, 3.14, etc., etc., and I'd end up with quite a lot of degrees. 6,365.6 degrees for that particular one. Alright, so 14A, which really is just an exercise in practicing converting in and out and just doing some questions.